Welcome to another episode of the Dandelion Reflections. Hello, Colleen.
Hi, Christopher. Hi, everyone. Dandelions out there.
Yes. So today we will continue our series about the ego or what we think it is.
Yes, yes. So
So, and you have told me that you had some interesting new, no, that you gathered some new knowledge there. Got it.
yes, and I'm going to try my best to convey the messages that I thought were very important. And that I would say we all know already intuitively, but it's just about reconnecting with that inner knowing. And I'd like to start with a question to you.
Oh.
Um, so let's say we meet at a cocktail party, and I'm run into you for the first time and you seem interesting. And I'm asking you, what are you? What would you tell me? Our
Oh, I've
first.
been thinking about that so many times, actually.
Yes.
And not
Hmm.
about meeting you at the cocktail party. That's a very interesting thought, definitely.
Yes.
But what I would answer if anyone would
Hmm.
ask,
Yeah.
and let me think. Wow. Um, I think I would maybe. Oh, this is a tricky one. Gosh. Um, I think depending on who, well, I would like to keep the conversation going, right? So I would
Hmm.
maybe not ask who is asking,
Hmm.
uh, but I would think I want to challenge the one asking by coming up with the idea of what I think right now is what I think I am,
Mm.
if that makes
And
sense.
wow, it's you're taking me on a path I had not expected. I would get,
Welcome
of
to
course,
life.
even more curious. And I would ask, could you be more specific? If you had to describe who is or what is Christopher, what would
Mhm.
it be?
With all of that in my backpack that I have been contemplating and thinking about in this matter, I'd say I am the sum of all of my experiences, thoughts, um, values, um, hopes, fears,
Mm.
and much more.
Wow, I love it. I would be very, very interested in knowing more and learning from you. Would you say that most people would not give such an answer, though? Most
Yes.
people that we would encounter, especially people we don't know, we haven't heard of before. And what would people say in general?
From what I think I see is that most people tend to expect that you would be asking about their profession
Hmm. Exactly.
or their
Yeah.
title or their,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Very common answer. I am the CEO of this or that. I
Mhm.
am a teacher. I am an attorney. I'm an engineer. I am whatever, a
Mhm.
mechanic. I am, let's say, a coach. I am, right? I'm
Right.
married to so and so.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. So these are the things that we typically tend to define ourselves with, those external masks or roles, identities. Um, but are we that? right? Are we our car that we're driving? Are we our bank account? Are we our status? Are we our religion? Name it, right? Are we our belief system?
Right. Um, just one, I'll just open the door for the cat.
Yes,
This is real
please.
life, and but I
Absolutely.
listen. I listen.
You are in the moment. You can insert that at the cocktail party.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wonderful.
There.
Say hi to Cat,
Hello,
the
that's
dog.
Shiva. Here. Meet
Oh,
Shiva.
hi, Shiva. I remember Shiva.
Right, you
Hello.
do.
Adorable cat. Perfect for this conversation.
Right.
Because these cats don't encumber themselves with all kinds of attributes like we humans do, right?
Yes, perfect example for I don't care about what you think about me. I just do whatever I think is right at this moment.
Exactly. Yes. So, what I'm trying to illustrate here, Christopher,
Hmm.
really is like how we are so limited in our thinking. And I don't want to say we're wrong. I just want to invite everyone to expand a little bit or broaden the perspective or zoom out. Because when we say, I am this, I am that, let's say, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, I am a mother, I am a healer, I am a writer. Even though in the tangible world, these could correspond to a reality, this is a tiny, tiny grain of sand of the truth of me
Hmm.
in the continent, not to say the galaxy, if not the galaxy of my whole being. So basically what we are is bigger than that, right? Is bigger than what we reduce ourselves to be. I would say, and you've heard Uncle Bill say that, Dr. Bill Hutcherson was one of our guests. You would say we are awareness, right?
Right.
We are pure awareness or consciousness. So, but imagine a cocktail party where we would say, I am gratitude, I am compassion. People would look at us like, oh, wow, what are you talking about? But that's the
Oh,
truth.
yeah.
And in those lectures I've listened to lately, and it was an international conference or congress on the sense of the diseases and the intelligence of the body, there was an approach that's called quantum physics. Okay, it's a framework. And I know when we hear that, it might be like, oh, so intimidating, right? I know, even though I have like a scientific background in my studies to become a doctor, I have not studied quantum physics, right? And I always thought, oh my gosh, this is kind of um, outside of my realm or what I can study or understand. But no, I think we live it every day. So
Hmm.
quantum, think about it, quantum, quantity. There was this candidate to doctoral, whatever, doctorate in quantum physics who said that it's about the possibilities, right?
Hmm.
Quantum possibilities. So he said that in life contains all the futures, and basically, which one will you choose? So this was really eye-opening again to realize that we are, like you once said, the creator of our reality just by setting the right intentions. In the things I've learned, among the ton of fascinating stuff that I've learned, we can influence someone's nervous system just by setting an intention. So it's basically by vibrating at a certain frequency, we can influence someone else who's not necessarily in our vicinity. So when we say people are praying, right, we tend to associate with that with religion. But prayer existed way before religion. Religion kind of hijacked the concept, right? But prayer is something we do inherently as human beings. We can be in a state of prayer even without saying any words. We can be in a state of prayer by being in a state of joy. So, setting an intention, sending good vibes to someone, having positive thoughts, prayer. And this
Right.
can actually influence how we feel, how we relate to others, how we react to situations, And ultimately, people we are connected to. And actually, we're connected to the whole of humanity. We are interconnected. And when I say this grain of sand that we think we are, and that makes us feel separate from others because, hey, Christopher, you're a grain of sand. You're this grain of sand, that color, and I'm that color of grain of sand. We're part of the continent. We're part of the awareness, right? So we have way more in common when we think about that than we have differences. And this quantum physicist who was giving a lecture was saying that we can influence, basically, there were studies showing that we can influence others by thinking about them. He, um, he basically said that this matter that we're constituted of, like this physical body, it represents less than 0.01% of who we are. So 99.99% and more of what we are is awareness. So if we all are awareness primarily, that means we have so much in common, right? So I really think that's important to do that shift because it will put things into perspective so much. Imagine, Christopher, that if we realize that what gets attacked by others when we're hurt by others, it's this grain of sand. But the continent is untouched. It cannot
Right.
be attacked.
Hmm.
Because what you do to yourself, you do to others. What you do to others, you do to yourself.
I have so many ideas and questions racing in my head right now.
I want to listen to that.
Oh my
I want to
God.
hear you.
We have spoken about Dr. Bruce Lipton in
Mm,
our podcast, and I
okay.
love listening to him and his ideas, and he also is very interested in this quantum physics idea,
Yeah.
and that's actually something quite young, right?
Yeah.
We as humans don't follow this idea of quantum physics for that many of years. Maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 years, 30 maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm
It's not
guessing.
something that was really presented to me in my curriculum, even in
Right,
med school. So
exactly.
yeah, and even though
So
it's so important. Hmm.
So let's spin this idea further.
Yeah.
We know that, as you said, the idea of prayer or hoping or whatever label you put on it, what that is,
Hmm.
what that we do when we wish for a certain outcome. I hope my mother will get all well again. I hope I get to know this person more, or I hope I will have
Hmm.
will successfully get my motorcycle license next year or whatever.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
so that's something that you send energy into the future or into to a certain uh, point of time or to a certain geographical pinpointed area or a person, right?
Yeah.
So even if we can't really understand that it works, let's go on spinning this idea that let's say it works, right?
Yes. Okay.
So what would be possible if
Mm,
this was really, if we
yeah.
are energy, right? We are not matter. Yes, we are
Hmm.
matter, but energy holds all these
Right. Hmm.
things that make an atom, a molecule together.
Hmm.
This is all held together by energy. There's no
Yes.
physical connection in between there. So if you could
Hmm.
make yourself really, really small, you would be able to travel through yourself without even bumping into anything. Correct?
Mm. Wow. Okay. That's a bit of
So
a long stretch, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So I can send energy
Hmm.
via my thoughts
Yeah.
to whatever else,
Yeah. Hmm.
and uh, if we believe that we can do it, it works. If we don't believe that we can do it, it still works
Right. Yeah. So
because
we
it
might
has
as
been
well.
proven, right? It has been proven because it's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. When people say we attract what we kind of envision, it's
Hmm.
like the manifestation. And what do we lose by believing, right? That, oh,
Nothing.
if we nurture good thoughts, positive thoughts, constructive thoughts, good things will happen. What would we lose? At least it will put us in a state of peace because
Hmm.
we don't control the outcome, but we can control moment by moment how we feel. So ultimately, we will learn, we will be filled up with peace, will be inspiring. So I think we should do that shift, no matter how skeptical we might feel, right?
I'm a strong believer in the idea of the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
I have uh, definitely experienced the negative part of that. Uh, I have attracted a lot of conflict, sent out conflict, uh, attracted conflict in return. And since I understood that and turned around, my life has been beautifully better since then. So for me, it works.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that everyone else needs to believe that it works, but just being open, right?
Right.
Being open for the possibility to
Yeah.
try it out just for 1 minute, 1 day,
Right.
uh, is opening a door, right,
Mm-hmm.
to this quantum physics uh, space out there,
Mm-hmm.
sending out a vibe that will attract whatever is more or less convincing.
Yeah. I agree. Staying open and trying it and reminding ourselves that yes, we are energy, like you said. That's so true. That the 99.99 whatever percent is energy, is light, is something not palpable that we can't really see.
Hmm.
Hence the importance of not getting too attached to this physical body, what it looks like, or what, we might not like some parts of our body. And no, it's we need to actually nurture it like a temple, because we become this body is the detector of our experience, the detector and the transmitter of the awareness of the good vibes. It's an important instrument, it's sacred, right? So it sounds paradoxical, like, oh, we're not our body, we shouldn't care about it. No, we should, but we should not identify with it. We should not identify with the grain of sand. We're not that, we're more than that. So but it's a reality. We need to be in to include that in the whole of us, right? So yes, we are energy, and we have more power than we think. And I think it's time to channel that and spread that knowledge, that wisdom.
Hmm. If we take a sharp turn back to the cocktail party,
Yes,
if you allow me, um,
pulse.
yeah, it's cool.
Salute.
So, when we answer,
Mhm.
we would like to make an impression
Mm.
mostly, right? Most of us want to make a certain impression to this person that's asking.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Um, and there's where I where many people get these perspiration attacks
Mhm.
when oh God, what am I going to say? This is the person, the CEO of whatever, or I know that this is a very successful, I don't know, lawyer, or uh,
Yeah.
I really have to give my best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who am I trying to impress here? Am I
Mm.
trying to impress what I think is my ego? Am I trying to impress someone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why am I even doing that?
Hmm.
And I don't want to take us too far away from this quantum physics thing because I see a connection there, but let me first hear your
Hmm.
thoughts about that.
So why do we do that, right?
Why
Why?
do we think so often think that we need to
Mm-hmm.
impress either ourselves or others?
Hmm. I think it's because, yeah, we have not let go of this attachment. We haven't realized yet the all the possibilities of who we are. And Ramdas said, "We are nobody."
Hmm.
And when we realize that we are nobody, it means we can be everything, everybody, or
Hmm.
anybody, right? So we have to basically shed that to be on ground zero to build ourselves as we truly are and as we are truly meant to be. But I think we're conditioned to interface the world with our defenses or masks, cloaks, and those
Hmm.
were put on us sometimes without realizing it, without actually consenting. You know, in our families, let's start in our families. We have a role. Oh, you're the responsible one. You're the quiet one. That was me as the oldest daughter. So
Right.
that means I can't goof off. I can't be funny. I can't,
Right.
not that they
No
were oppressive.
pressure, Colleen.
Yeah, right. So it was actually something that shaped me in a way, and that
Hmm.
I felt like I needed to be to survive, to be accepted. But once you realize you have to accept yourself, you have
Yes.
to, right, hear your own voice and stand up for yourself, even though if that means you'll be rejected. And that's usually a sign that you are daring to be who you are when you start being rejected.
Yeah.
People see that as a humiliation, as something awful. Absolutely not. I am truly amused by seeing, like, I did that and I was rejected. I applied for this, nobody returned my call. I feel like that means I'm meant to be everywhere. That means I'm meant to be not in that single space that would be so restrictive, but I am actually floating in life and inhabiting all spaces. That is such a freeing conceptualization. It's such a shift. And I'm doing it. I'm practicing it. When I give a lecture, when I introducing myself, I'm thinking, this is just a world of form here. Okay. Tomorrow I could
Hmm.
lose my medical license. I would still be me, right? I would still be me. I am awareness. That's it.
Exactly.
So it's a good exercise, right? So rejection is actually a good teacher because it reminds us that we're still standing up, we're still there, we're still breathing, we're okay. Well, it's because there's something else than this. So, and when people go through trauma, and this is an approach I need to shift to, retelling the trauma story, yeah, it can be therapeutic to name realities and experiences, but we need to go beyond that and transform that and realize, like, okay, you're hurt because you think you're just this grain of sand. But once you
Hmm.
realize you're not the grain of sand, you're the continent, nobody touched that continent. People attack
Hmm.
that grain of sand. Nobody can attack awareness.
Right. Right. Beautiful. So, you mentioned that when we grow up, we have all our uh, the adults around us put their ideas of how we need to be, how we should behave onto us. And isn't that a form of prayer too? Oh,
Oh,
I wish you were better in school. I wish you would be nicer to your siblings. I wish you would hug me more often, or I wish you would kiss Aunt Gerda.
oh yes, we talked about these things, right? Forcing kids into roles they don't want to be or have.
Right.
Why is that? It's a form of prayer. This is beautiful what you're saying, Christopher, because prayer, cry for help, the adult's unconscious attempt to recreate a past they didn't really have and they wanted for themselves.
Hmm.
So maybe it tells more about the parent, right?
Right.
So yeah, it might be a form of prayer. It's might be a distortion, but it's still a prayer. And
It
once,
still works, right? Because the children actually become what
yeah,
they not are.
yeah, they absorb that energy, that
Hmm.
intention, that vibration, and then absolutely. And even the emotions in that wonderful like conference, and I call that the divine curriculum because it was truly divine, and it's a curriculum I had to do in the interstices or interstices, like how do we say that, les interstices, like the little spaces of my main activities, like taking a walk, taking a bath, I doing the dishes, I was listening to these talks because I had 3 hours a day of talks,
Hmm.
and I had 24 hours to listen to that. So I had to fit that in my schedule. But that was the divine curriculum that was so powerful. And one of the talks was about the importance of recognizing that kids' emotions can be their parents' emotions or something they've been through while they were pregnant of the child, or even
Oh, yeah.
preconception
Hmm.
or after birth. So revisiting the emotional states of the parents could it actually enlighten us as to why a child is behaving a certain way, why a child is triggered, and letting go of that symptom, explaining to the child, okay, you're having that symptom, that was mama's or papa's symptom, or that they went through that, you're okay, you can let go, you can say goodbye, thank you,
Hmm.
I know you're trying to protect me, but I no longer need you. So really talking to the symptom. So this is powerful. If the parents have not resolved their stuff, they
Hmm.
will likely project that onto the child because they
Right.
see themselves in the child. And a lot of that is unconscious. Some of that is conscious, right? You know, Christopher, when you parent your children, I'm sure you're intentional because you think about your own childhood because you're a very self-aware person and you're thinking,
Hmm.
this doesn't help, this didn't help me, I'm hoping that my kids will have a different experience, I'm going to do that this time. But there are also the
Right.
unconscious stuff that we're not aware of. Apparently 95% of our thoughts are unconscious.
Yeah.
Only 5% are conscious. So we need to expand our awareness of our thoughts so that we don't let the unconscious take over, the unresolved stuff take over and affect others.
So
Yeah.
that would be something similar to an autopilot, the
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah, absolutely. The autopilot. Yeah. Like just like
Who's
when some,
programming the, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Yeah. I like your analogy.
Who programmed the autopilot which is the subconscious mind in
It's a
our
very good
lives?
question. I think, like you mentioned earlier, in your backpack, there was a lot of that, but
Mm.
things that you also intentionally chose, but there was some baggage that you didn't choose maybe at first,
Hmm.
right? So, cultural conditionings, religious, gender, stereotypes, all kinds of stuff, like programmings from our
Right.
family of origin, from our culture, from our community, expectations of others. So
Hmm.
that can kind of create the settings for this specific autopilot. Yeah. And then we need to realize that and we need to actually um, disengage it or disable it, right? To
So,
take charge. Yeah.
so in this setting of a cocktail party, when
Yes, I like that.
when you
I
asked
want
me,
I want to
"Who are
meet you there.
you?" Right,
Yes.
I would take my backpack from my
Uh-huh.
back, open it
Yeah.
up, and pull
Yeah.
out all of the stuff that I've been through, that I experienced, that all the happy moments, the traumatic moments,
Yeah.
the a bunch of stuff, and
Mhm.
the essence of that is what is or what I. Wait a minute. No, that's not me because
Mhm.
that's only what I think is
Right.
me,
Yeah.
right? So why is that? Why is
Yeah.
why
Mhm.
are my thoughts
Mm.
about me not
Mm.
me?
Because they're thoughts, and you are not our thoughts, right?
Right. And
First of
what are
all.
thoughts? Here's the next one. What are thoughts?
Mm.
Thoughts are nothing else than energy.
Exactly. I think thoughts, just like emotions, they come through us. They're not our own, right? We are detectors, we are antennas, we
Yeah.
are filters. So we are just there, we're an instrument, we're a conduit of some experience. And that includes thoughts, that
Hmm.
includes emotions. It's important to not say, because when we think something, I believe this. There's nothing wrong into having a belief system, honestly. I have that, I have values. But just clinging too much onto them prevents us from actually accessing who we truly are.
Hmm.
Just like me, I could say, no, we have to talk about the trauma to heal from it. I
Hmm.
certainly believed that for a long time, Christopher, but now I'm shifting. I'm thinking, no, we need to acknowledge it, but not everyone needs to dwell in it. We actually need to transform it, maybe. We need to
Right.
let go of the identification with the victim role, whatever. We need to see ourselves as more than what has been attacked. So it's important to realize that, okay, this thought has visited me, and I thought it was mine. I thought it was like the creation of my brain.
Hmm.
It's very materialistic thinking, just that, right? So, but no, it's like maybe it was in the air, it was in the collective unconscious, and it stuck to me or in me, but I need to let it go. I'm at a different phase now. Just like emotions, I hate it when people say, they look at me and say, you're angry. First of all, I am not
Right.
angry. I
Never
might
mind.
have anger coming through me, but this does not define me.
Hmm.
I am not anger. I am not sadness. I I experience these things in my body, but it actually could be your own anger for that matter that you're not even acknowledging. But it's
Hmm.
convenient for people to project that onto others, right? Because they don't want to acknowledge their own. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Well, first of all, anger is not, you know, an evil thing. It's an emotion, like you said. It's an
Hmm.
energy. It's an experience. We just need to decode it. It's a messenger. But I am not it. I now I'm saying there is anger. There is sadness instead of saying I am, I am, I am. I don't want to
Right.
identify with those emotional states that are impermanent. You used the sky analogy before, right?
Hmm.
Are we the droplet of water? Are we the snowflake in the air? No, we're the whole sky. And what comes through us, these clouds of emotions, they go too. They pass, right? So we are
Right.
the sky of awareness.
Wonderful.
The backpack, no, it's not us. We carry it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that lets me think of the self-talk. This
Mm.
inner
Oh,
monologue or dialogue or whatever you want to call it.
right.
Uh, the way how we wait a minute. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before. I've listened to a talk by Chris Niebauer, Dr. Chris Niebauer, the author of No Self, No Problem, and
Oh.
he put up this idea of why did we humans invent language?
Mm.
And categorizing is one thing we can do with language, of course. Uh,
Right.
and but one could think, okay, it's good for communication with each other,
Mhm.
with people of our own uh, kind. Uh, but
Yeah.
then he said, what we actually do is that we talk to ourselves. We
Mhm.
think, and
Right.
that's
Okay.
the most
Mm.
predominant uh,
Predominant. Yeah.
predominant. Thank you.
Predominant.
Um, use of language because we
Oh.
talk much more to ourselves. We think
Mm.
much more than we actually talk to other people.
Interesting. Okay.
So, what
So
if
we're,
we did not have this language?
mm, yeah. Yes.
So
Wow.
now this, let's think this.
Oh.
Let's continue. This self-talk,
Yeah. Hmm.
like you said,
Hmm.
I'm angry. Am I? Am I really angry? Or
Yeah.
do I only feel anger? Uh,
Mhm.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
Am I really sick, or do I only feel sick? Uh,
Mhm.
like I am a doctor. Are you a doctor? Or do you only think you're a doctor because you have this title that someone else made up for you and
Yeah.
put it in front of your name?
Yes.
All these things. I don't know, I am anxious. I am shy. I am,
Mhm.
you name it. So this is
Yes.
all made up. So when I say, I had
Hmm.
this conversation with a good friend, and she was not aware of that. She said, "I." What was it exactly that she said? I can't remember what exactly she said, but um, the way I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I'm a bad this or that. Okay, and this gets so well imprinted into ourselves by
Hmm.
saying this over and over again, and then we believe it ourselves. So if we
Hmm.
if we really manage to turn this around, if we can tell us, I am happiness, I am
Yes.
healthy, I am,
Yes.
we can use it the same way. It costs us exactly the same
Right.
amount of energy, but
Yeah.
the outcome of this is much more positive.
Yes, it is.
I, oh yeah, here's another idea. I want to become better in the French language.
Hmm.
Okay, you want to become better. So this is the constant state. I always want to become better. There's no progress because you always want to be, but you are never good at
Yeah.
it. I want to be good at the
Hmm.
French language or whatever you want to
Yeah.
become better at. Uh, so that's a very small change in the
Yeah.
wording, but it's
Right.
so much powerful when you're telling this to yourself over and over again.
I love that because it shows that you use language not to put yourself in a category that's
Right.
fixed, but like you're dynamic. I am becoming better, or I'm learning French. So it's not
Yes.
even judging. It's just shedding light on the process. That's so
Hmm.
inspiring. I am learning, and that's the truth because we are all learning about something. You are
Yes.
learning French. You're not saying you're good or bad or this or that. You are learning. That is enough, right?
Hmm.
In and of itself. So I love that. I love that you took power, you reclaimed your power because language, yeah, can be, if not well utilized, be actually creating barriers and categories and
Right.
hierarchy. And that's the ego at work. But we can shift that and we can say, yes, I am gratitude because
Right.
it's actually, it can only be positive, right?
Hmm.
Am I taking something from you, Christopher, when I say I am joy, I am abundance, I am compassion,
Hmm.
right? As opposed to say, I am the best at this or that. Okay.
Right.
No, I am gratitude. There's plenty of that. It's it's a culture, or it's a abundance consciousness, like Deepak Chopra would say.
Hmm.
Abundance consciousness. So
Right.
learning is also abundant
Hmm.
because what are we taking from people when we learn? It's
Nothing.
an unlimited resource.
Hmm.
In fact, it creates more. I think it generates more because you spread something. If you learn French, you inspire others to learn. You inspire me to learn maybe Swedish, or, you know,
Hmm.
why not?
Yes.
Hmm. That's
So
wonderful.
so who are we anyway? If
Yeah.
there's if it's I want to say, I don't know if this is a too big of a step. If we suddenly realize that what we thought about
Mhm.
ourselves,
Mhm.
about our ego, is all made up. What is there?
It's made up. Mhm.
What
What is-
what's
Mhm.
left?
Yeah. I really believe it's pure consciousness or awareness.
Yeah.
Because, as you were talking about the language, the image of a dear uncle who passed earlier this year came to
Mm,
mind. His name was Roger. And I don't know if I told you about Roger, my mom's oldest brother. He was born during a complicated birth process. And I don't know if that explained why he had some severe developmental delay. He
mm,
could never speak, and he had the
mm,
developmental age of, let's say, a toddler. Okay, so he could
mm,
perform simple tasks, follow instructions. He could not go to school. He could not actually have a conversation like we're having right now.
mm,
Okay, so he was speaking with, sounds and a few syllables, but he was pure love. He was pure joy. And I was like, what a blessing in our lives. Even though in the
this
tangible
is
world,
interesting. Wow.
yes, he could have been labeled as someone with disabilities or, it's kind of negative. There's something missing. No,
Hmm.
he
Right.
brought so much to our lives. He was not judging, he was inclusive, he was loving, regardless of who you were. He did not put labels to people
Mm,
because he knew better. He had the true intelligence. When we think
yes.
about intelligence in terms of IQ, it's the intellect. But the true intelligence is the life living itself through us without obstacles, without barriers, with just light. And he was that. He was that in our lives. And yeah, it was magic. So I'll just say that, yeah, the language can be an obstacle. It can actually be a curse. What looked like a curse to his life was actually a blessing to all of us, for
Right.
all of us. So
Wonderful.
he was a teacher for me. That he taught me that
Yes.
by being who he was, without words, no words, just
Hmm.
hugs, just joy, laughter. Yeah,
That was his language.
it was his language. Yeah, yes. So he taught me that we are pure consciousness and
Hmm.
awareness. But we forget that, Christopher, right? Because of our conditionings and the expectations. So we just need to gradually bring ourselves back to that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love this example, Roger.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You,
It's
mhm,
very valuable. Here comes another label. Uh,
mhm,
he might not have heard that too often from the ones in the professions of judging him, putting
right.
him into trying to make him fit into our system.
Right.
But then when he found the loving family and knew that he was safe there forever,
Hmm.
that that is, yes, as you said, he was able to develop or uh, maintain and possibly even develop this pure joy, inspire you and others around him
Yeah.
instead of being formed to perform in a
Hmm.
certain way, instead of being in a way to perform so he gets, I don't know, appreciation, love, all this what we in our world experience from childhood on, from
Yeah.
toddler age
Right.
on. You have to be this way or that way in order to be something, in order to be loved and appreciated and
Yeah.
um, make your way in life.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was not seeking recognition. He
Mm.
was just being rather than doing something specific to please others. It's that was freedom. And I think he had a life well lived.
Yes,
Yes.
beautiful. So
Yeah.
the do we how can we get a curve back to
Mhm.
um, quantum physics here?
Yes, very good. I have some thoughts, and I'm sure we're going to continue to revisit those concepts.
Mm,
I want to say that something that came to mind this morning as I was anticipating our discussion, like apparently we are the average of the five people we spend the most time with.
right.
So there's some truth to that because think about who you're surrounded with, right? It influences
Hmm.
us at the frequency at which we vibrate. So I feel like, yeah, it elevates us when we surround ourselves with people who are aware that they are awareness or they're actually trying to learn in life or open minded, right? Doesn't mean we don't have an ego anymore. I mean, it's still going to be there trying to, make its way back into our head, our life,
Hmm.
but at least gradually we're, seeing the game it's
Yeah.
playing. And so I feel like surrounding ourselves with people who are having also similar intentions can help us grow, and
Hmm.
sending compassion to those who are not vibrating at high frequencies or really stuck into the grain of sand.
Hmm.
We could do that. So we can shift that. We can still send those vibes, but at the same time, we need to protect our own process. So being aware simply. And we're as we were talking, I had some kind of optical illusion moment. I don't know if you have the same experience as I am, as we are, our screens are juxtaposed, right? So I see your environment and mine is next to you. And for a moment, a split second, I felt like the poster that is behind me was in your kind of space.
Oh, yeah.
It just shows the interconnectedness. I just want to say that because quantum physics is also about, again, we're energy and we're connected. Our
Hmm.
our physical bodies, they seem separate, but we're a part of the same planet, the same humanity, the same collective unconscious.
Hmm.
So my screen reminded me that I'm connected to yours, that is connected to yours, and then we're connected kind of
I see.
spiritually or
Yeah.
energetically. Yeah.
Right. I, that's interesting because when you mentioned screen, I realized that I had the wrong screen on for the recording because I see you in speaker
Uh-huh.
screen now,
Okay,
and
yeah,
I
speaker
am
view.
so
Okay.
small, and that's okay. I can absolutely live with that because I could imagine most people uh, most of our guests are actually more listening than viewing.
Oh,
Um,
okay. No, yeah, not a problem. Yeah, for me, I put gallery view. That's why. So we don't have the same layout at this time.
right. I usually do that, but today I forgot. But this screen problem
Yeah.
reminds me of something else,
Yeah.
which is which has something to do with the ego, and that is when we record our conversations. Just as a reminder, both to ourselves and to our audience, uh, we do this not to impress anyone. We do this because we love having these chats
Yeah.
about whatever shows up in our minds, right? And
Mhm.
if it's non-performative, we really,
Sorry.
if you have made it so far into this
Mhm.
today's talk, then congratulations. You really, uh, yeah, well, whatever.
Dedicated.
It's yes, you're dedicated. Thank you. But this is we don't expect a lot
Hmm.
of followers. We don't expect a lot of likes. Yes, it's nice, of course, if we know, okay, this meant something for someone out there. That is
Yes.
wonderful and great and rewarding. But this is not what we're doing this for. And
Mhm.
then back to the ego, uh, the connection between you, Colleen, and myself is what it is worth for me. And if anyone out there feels this the similar connection and likes to listen and joins us on our crazy ramblings here, that's so wonderful. That's cool, and maybe that's exactly what we should
Mhm.
live our lives after.
Mhm.
That we do this for ourselves, not because we want to be egoistic and self-centered, but we live to be happy,
Yeah.
uh, not to impress anyone, not
Mhm.
to form a form of an ego that others may or may not be impressed of,
Yeah.
or maybe ourselves. We're not here for our partners. We're not here for our bosses. We're not here for our parents or for our neighbors to be
Yeah.
impressed, but we are here for ourselves.
That's true. That totally resonates with me. Yes. These are wonderful concluding and wise words. Yes. Love it.
And but what of all that I just said, what does that have to do with quantum physics?
Hmm.
Anything?
Mhm.
Or did I just lose
Well,
the path?
I think quantum physics is life and also the divine, and at the same time, it's like part of science. But science and spirituality, I think, are so connected and way more than they think. Right? I think we tended to split them,
Oh,
but it's
yes. Mm.
so quantum physics for me feels like at the intersection of that and what you're saying. Basically, we let go of the need for recognition. For we just do that because it matters to us and
Hmm.
it's aligned with who we are, our true nature, which is about learning and about expanding. So doing that together, even if no one views or listens, or if only one views or listens, for us, it's worth it because you and I, we co-create something and it helps us continue on our path. So that's quantum physics. I think quantum physics is really about being connected with life and aligned with it and resonating with it and not creating um, those concepts that are restrictive, like, oh, you should have a certain number of likes to be of value. We know we have inherent value
Right.
as human beings, and we're just affirming it now by doing this for pleasure, for our
Hmm.
own satisfaction and expansion.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you, Christopher, for such a great
Sh
conversation again.
yeah, shall we end today's conversation? And thanks again to everyone
Yes,
that actually listened. And I hope we could inspire you guys in any form. Uh, and you inspired me definitely, Caroline, with these thoughts. And
you
I think
too.
I would like to sit and think about this evening.
We will, because in one of the talks that I've heard from this guy again, a quantum physicist who wrote a book, he said, as final advice, said that he doesn't recommend necessarily to read one book per week because sometimes we tend to accomplish or want to accomplish or accumulate. He said, no, don't read a book a week, but read 3 books and read them more than once so you deepen
Hmm. I
understanding. And
see.
that spoke to me. So that's what we're going to do together. That's what we've been
Hmm.
doing anyway, is
Exactly.
always peeling layers
All right.
of certain things we don't understand to really fully get to the core and
Hmm.
have a deeper understanding. So thank you for this exploratory journey together, Christopher.
Thank you, Colleen.
À
Have
la
a
prochaine.
wonderful evening. Have a wonderful rest of the day, our beautiful audience.
Yes,
And
be
see
well,
you next
everyone.
time.
Wishing you peace and awareness.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye bye,
Thank you.
Caroline.
Bye, Chris.